Hey, Jason here. We got the Revolution Paddle Surf, or REVO. So this board is real fast. It's a great paddling board at 7'10" by 31.5 inches wide, 190 liters. This board is going to paddle well enough that you can even do some downriver on it if you need to. And then once you get it into those waves, it's going to really rip it up. It's going to perform on surf waves unlike any inflatable could, and also unlike any other hardboard with that much volume. So anyways, let's go over some of the features of this board. Got our diamond nose, which we put on a lot of our boards. It's just a really functional nose. So still, it's sharp enough. It's going to break through water, break through waves. And then if you were to follow, the point of this is if you were to follow the outline of this nose and bring it to a point, you'd add on an extra 8 to 10 inches unnecessarily. So what that does is it chops off the front end of this board basically and keeps the rails really straight and parallel throughout, which aids in speed, helps you paddle in a straight line a little bit better, and also keeps the stability for a 7'10" board, man. It really keeps the stability of this board maxed out when you've got real parallel rails. So anyways, moving back, you got your automatic Gore-Tex vent, you got our carry handle. We've been through them all, lifts up, FCS handles. We've tried a bunch of different ones. We ended up coming up with our own. This handle is by far the best carry handle. It will not freeze up in colder conditions. You can still throw a bike lock around it, chain it to a tree or a vehicle if you need to. And it's a great grab for pulling yourself back up onto a board, or if you've got to float down rapids holding onto your board, it's the perfect handle for that as well. So anyways, moving on back through the pad, we've got our arch support here, which we love. Just gives you that tactile feel. You can really feel the placement of your back foot with this arch here. And then you've got our kick pad or stomp pad on the back. Leash plug back there, obviously. Yeah, rocker of this board, if you can see that. Tri-fin setup. A lot of times we'll surf, especially river waves, we'll surf without a trailing fin. Just allows maximum uninterrupted flow of water through the back end, which the trailing fin has been shown to affect speed of a board more than the side bites. So anyways, rocker of this board, we've honed this down to where it's at today. It's got enough tail rocker where you can definitely, it'll fit into holes. You can get the nose of the board up if you need to, and also enough tail rocker just to promote clean release of water off the back end of this board. Boards with too little tail rocker, they're going to back up the water flow because the tail is going to be pulling the wake with it. It's going to back up the water flow even into the midsection of the board. So got to have that proper tail rocker on a board. Nose rocker, got plenty of nose rocker. It's going to be real difficult to pearl, but also at the same time, we don't have too much rocker. There isn't too much belly to this board, which is going to, that's going to hurt your stability, and then it's going to hurt your paddling speed as well. So concaves on this board, real soft front end, soft rails, which you'll love for choppier water in rivers and comfortably paddling into waves. That transitions into a decent single in the middle of this board, which is going to keep this board, once you're up on plane surfing a wave, it's going to keep it nice and loose and floaty. That transitions into flat to a slight V out the tail, which just promotes clean release of water off the back end of this board, which again, speed. Rail lines, so real soft rails up front. They progressively get harder as you move back. About the last third of this board, past the wings here, it becomes real hard. Just clean water flow. Again, speed and also turn initiation with the real hard rails and at the back end. Water has a real hard time wrapping around these rails and slowing this board down if they're as hard as what they are. So Anyways, pivot points here, the wings. They create a real cool pivot point for surfing. They also narrow down the back end of this tail, so you've got a little less volume in the back end, which aids in turning and also, you know, being able to sink that tail to get the nose up, pivot turns, or just to fit it into smaller waves or deeper holes. So there you go. I think I covered it. Great board. You're going to love it. Yeah, thanks for your time.